Yeah. Funny how you can run from everybody and still never escape yourself. I spent my whole life looking for somebody to save me. Never realized the person I was waiting for was the person I kept trying to destroy. I woke up with a war inside my chest again. Same room, same scars, different medicine. Everybody says I'm strong, I just got good at hiding. Put a smile on my face while my soul was fighting. I learned how to laugh when I wanted to scream. Learned how to disappear without leaving the scene. I gave everybody pieces, kept none for myself. Built 1,000 relationships, still felt by myself. I said I'm okay, so many times it sounded true, but every little lie was another piece I knew would eventually collapse when the silence got loud. When the lights went off and there wasn't a crowd, I blamed every failure on the people who left. Blamed every wound on the hands that caused it. But somewhere in the mirror I had to confess, some of these chains were the ones I locked myself in. I kept looking for a hand to pull me out while I was the one holding myself down. I wanted peace, but I fed the fight. I wanted truth, but I ran from the light. The last thing I needed was me, the last face I wanted to see. 'Cause I knew every lie, every scar, every memory, every version of who I pretended to be. The last thing I needed was me, the one thing I couldn't believe. But maybe the person I hated the most was the person I needed to finally set free. Yeah. The last thing I needed was me. I remember being young, thinking life would be simple. Now I carry old pain like a permanent symbol. I grew up too fast, put my dreams in the coffin. Told myself I was fine while my heart stayed exhausted. I became everybody's shelter while mine burned down. Held everybody together while I fell apart. Somehow they called me dependable, never saw the cost. I became everybody's strength while I quietly got lost. I got angry at God when the answers never came. That's why every blessing had to walk through pain. But maybe I was asking for a life without storms, when the rain was the only thing reshaping my form. I hated my past, tried to bury the evidence, but every scar I covered became part of my fingerprints. You can't heal a wound that you're afraid to touch, and you can't love yourself if you believe you're too much. So I stopped running from the man in the glass, stopped trying to rewrite every chapter of the past. I looked in my reflection and finally understood I wasn't everything that happened to me, and I never was. The last thing I needed was me, the last face I wanted to see. 'Cause I knew every lie, every scar, every memory, every version of who I pretended to be. The last thing I needed was me, the one thing I couldn't believe. But maybe the person I hated the most was the person I needed to finally set free. Yeah. The last thing I needed was me. Maybe I don't need to become somebody else. Maybe I just need to stop abandoning myself. Maybe healing isn't forgetting what happened. Maybe it's remembering without letting it control what happens next. I spent years asking, who will save me? And the answer scared me, because it was always, get up, so get up. Even if your legs shake, get up. Even if your whole world breaks, get up. You don't need applause when the road gets rough. You don't need their permission to believe you're enough. I've been down where the darkness had a voice, where surviving didn't even feel like a choice, where every morning felt like another attack. But I crawled through the night and I never went back. I lost friends, lost time, lost pieces of my youth, lost faith in myself, almost lost sight of the truth. But the ashes taught me what the fire couldn't say. You can lose everything and still choose another day. So here's to the version of me I abandoned, the kid who was scared but kept standing, the man in the mirror I refuse to forgive. I don't love every scar, but I'm grateful I lived. The last thing I needed was me, the last truth I wanted to believe. But I found my reflection underneath I just need to stop being ashamed of the history. The last thing I needed was me. Or maybe that's what saved me. I spent my whole life trying to find somebody else, when the person I needed was waiting inside me. I don't hate you anymore. I know what you survived. I know what you lost. I know why you became this way. And tomorrow, we're getting up together. The last thing I needed was me. And somehow, that became everything I needed destroyed. My heart has no witnesses. Nobody saw the nights. Nobody heard the prayers. Nobody knows what it cost me to still be standing here. I learned to hide the thunder underneath the calm face. Walk into a crowded room and still feel out of place. I tell them I'm okay because explaining takes too much. Some wounds don't need a bandage, they just need a little trust. I've got memories I buried that keep digging their way out. Questions in my head that I don't ever say out loud. I shook hands with people who would never shake mine. Gave pieces of my soul away and called it being kind. I remember every promise that somebody couldn't keep. Every night I stayed awake while everybody else could sleep. They saw the smile, never saw the tears behind it. Saw me standing tall, never saw what was behind it. I became an expert at pretending I was strong, while quietly convincing myself that I could carry on. If you ask me what I'm feeling, I'll probably say nothing, because sometimes saying everything means opening up something. And I don't need a crowd to validate my pain. I don't need applause for surviving through the rain. There are battles fought in silence nobody can explain, but God knows every tear that ever touched my face. My heart has no witnesses. Nobody saw the war that I was living in. Nobody heard the prayers I whispered. Nobody knows how many times I almost quit. My heart has no witnesses. No evidence except the scars beneath my skin. If nobody knows the story of the darkness I survived, I'll still know that I fought to stay alive. I got angry with the world, then I got angry with myself. Put my pain on every shelf and pretended it was dealt. I blamed people for the pieces they had taken when they left. Then I realized forgiveness was the freedom I had left. I wanted every answer, God gave me another test. I wanted instant healing, He gave me one more breath. I wanted all the reasons for the things I couldn't change, but sometimes faith means walking when you cannot see the way. So I stopped asking why every door was closing. Stopped chasing people who were already gone. Stopped measuring my worth by somebody else's vision. Started building from the ruins of everything I had lost. I don't need revenge on anybody who betrayed me. Their absence taught me things their presence never gave me. I don't need to prove that I deserved another chance. I survived the worst version of myself and learned to stand. And I don't need a crowd to validate my pain. I don't need applause for surviving through the rain. There are battles fought in silence nobody can explain, but God knows every tear that ever touched my face. My heart has no witnesses. Nobody saw the war that I was living in. Nobody heard the prayers I whispered. Nobody knows how many times I almost quit. My heart has no witnesses. No evidence except the scars beneath my skin. If nobody knows the story of the darkness I survived, fought to stay alive. Maybe the silence wasn't empty. Maybe heaven heard every word. Maybe the nights I thought I was forgotten were the nights that I was being hurt. I thought I was walking alone, but somehow I kept moving forward. I thought my story was over, but God was still writing another chapter. So here's to every morning that I didn't want to rise, every battle with myself that nobody recognized. Here's to every tear I swallowed just to keep my family smiling, every broken piece I carried while pretending I was thriving. Here's to every closed door that I thought was my destruction, every painful goodbye that became divine protection. Here's to the person I was who didn't know how to heal, and the person I became who finally learned to feel. I don't glorify the pain, but I won't erase the scars. They remind me I survived when I didn't think I'd make it this far. I don't need the world to understand what I endured. I just need to know the struggle didn't leave me insecure, because I walked through the fire and I came out with a purpose, and everything that tried to break me only showed me what I'm worth. So if nobody remembers, I'll remember. If nobody believes me, I'll believe me. If nobody saw the fight, I'll still know I fought, because I was there. My heart has no witnesses, but heaven knows every place that I have been. Every tear, every scar, every unanswered prayer. Every night I felt alone, but somehow knew you cared. But I survived behind the door. My heart has no witnesses, but I'm still here, still breathing, still fighting, still believing. Nobody saw me fall, nobody saw me crawl, nobody saw me rebuild. But I did, God did, and that's enough. My heart has no witness. My heart has no witnesses. My life is the evidence. Yeah. They see the smile, they don't see the war. They hear the words, they don't know what they're for. I learned how to say I'm good when everything inside me was screaming I'm not. But if there's one thing I know, God knows what I hide. I wake up every morning with a war behind my eyes, put a smile across my face and tell the world I'm fine. Nobody sees the nights I spent wrestling with my mind, or the 1,000 different ways I had to learn to survive. I got scars that never showed up on my skin, got battles I don't talk about because nobody listens. I shook hands with my demons, I let darkness move in, then I prayed for a miracle, I'm fighting from within. I've been angry at the man that I became, I blame God for the rain, then thanked him for the pain. Cause every time I thought my story ended in defeat, He was building something stronger underneath my feet. I lost people I would've died to keep, lost pieces of myself somewhere between awake and sleep. But every tear that ever fell when nobody could see was another piece of evidence that I was meant to be free. So if you ask me how I'm doing, I might tell you I'm okay. But there's a language in my silence that my mouth could never say. And when the whole world turns its back, or nobody knows my name, I look toward the sky and whisper, God, please take away this pain. God knows what I hide, God knows every tear I've cried, He knows the wars I fight at night, the broken parts I keep inside. They only see me standing tall, they never saw me when I fell. They don't know how many being strong, man, never breaking down, never letting anybody see the weakness in your crown. But strength ain't never feeling pain, it's standing when you're drowning and refusing to stay down. I've had conversations with a mirror I don't trust, asked how did we become somebody neither one of us loves. Then I heard a voice inside me say, you're not what you've done, you're not every mistake, you're not every person who decided to run. So I picked up every piece that they left on the floor, built a heart from the wreckage and I made it beat once more. I don't need revenge on anybody anymore, because surviving what they did became my greatest reward. I forgive, but I remember what the pain taught me. I was looking for acceptance from the people who forgot me. Now I'm looking in the mirror saying, God, you still got me. If the world won't understand me, then the heavens still know me. I don't need everybody to believe in what I do, I just need enough faith to keep walking when I'm through. I've been buried underneath everything I thought was true, but flowers grow through concrete, so maybe I will too. So if you ask me how I'm doing, I might tell you I'm okay. But there's a language in my silence that my mouth could never say. And when the whole world turns its back, when nobody knows my name, I look toward the sky and whisper, God, please take away this pain. God knows what I hide, God knows every tear I've cried, He knows the wars I fight at night, the broken parts I keep inside. They only see me standing tall, they never saw me when I fell. They don't know how many times I had to save myself from hell. God knows what I hide, He knows the questions in my mind, and even when I lose my way, I know He never leaves my side. If you could see inside my head, you'd understand the silence. If you could count every tear, you'd understand my violence. Not violence against the world, the war was always me, trying to kill the voice that said I'd never be free. But I survived, that's the part they never knew. I survived the nights I thought I wouldn't make it through, and maybe that's the proof I've been searching for all along. Sometimes God doesn't stop the storm, He teaches you to become strong. God knows what I hide, God knows every tear I've cried. He saw me broken on the floor and still refused to let me die. They only see the man I am, they never knew the boy inside, the one who needed someone to say, you don't have to run and hide. God knows what I hide, He knows the darkness in my mind, and if tomorrow brings another war, I'll face it knowing I'm alive. I don't need the world to understand, I don't need them by my side, because when everybody disappeared, God knew what I hide. So here's to every silent battle, every unanswered prayer, every night you thought nobody noticed, He noticed. And if you're still here, you're not finished, you'll be coming. God knows what you hide, and He still calls you worth saving.